finally finished Blacktop Wasteland, and it took me 7 days to finish reading it. Okay, let me get up on my legs a little bit. It took me a whole week. That is a shame. It should not have taken me that long. But because I finished Blacktop Wasteland, finally, I have completed my reading for S.A. Cosby. I read all of his 5 books that are out, and I'm excited to see his next book or next bit of works. I know he has some movies in the works and things of that nature, but in this video I'm going to give you my review on Blacktop Wasteland, my thoughts on it. It's not your typical thoughts on it per se, but you know, we're going to get into that, and then I'll finally rank from my best of his work to my okay. We're not doing S.A. Cosby best to worst. Don't do that for him. Don't do that, okay? We are doing best to okay. Welcome, beautiful people. If you're new here, I am Darnaya, Darice, first name, middle name. I appreciate you for tuning in. Make sure you watch all the way through, okay? If you watch all the way through, leave a purple heart for your girl, okay? Because it helps me out with the views, okay? Okay, the watch time. That's what the watch hours, okay? But I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. I hope y'all are staying encouraged and continue to push and do great things. All right, so Blacktop Wasteland. Let's talk about it. So I finished it today. This, unfortunately, is not my favorite read. It's not my favorite read of his, but we love a good thriller. We love a good crime. I was about to say thriller. Okay, what is the thrime? Am I making up my own words or am I not? I am, okay. I love a good crime thriller. I enjoy S.A. Cosby's work because he writes so well. He's so descriptive. You're going to get the scene whether you like it or not, okay? You're going to get the description whether you like it or not. And in this book, I actually rated it 3.75. I was struggling to rate it a 3.5 to 3.75, but I couldn't do that to S.A. Cosby because it is a good story. It is a good read. However, I was over it. 2 days ago, I was over it. I was pushing myself to finish this book. Part of the reason, because you're following a guy named Beauregard, aka Bug, Bo, whatever you want to call him, okay? And Bug here, he is a former getaway driver. His father was what they call an OG and also a good getaway driver. If you like Fast and the Furious, you will like this. If you're into cars and the different classic models and things of that nature, you will enjoy it. But I'm not that into cars, and it gave a lot of old classic car information. I'm like, okay, I can't relate, but I'm learning something about cars, I guess. I'm learning something about revolvers. According to S.A. Cosby, revolvers don't leave casings, at least the one they used on one of the little stunts they were doing, right? So this book, Beauregard, aka Bug, he is a family man. He's married to a lady named Kia. He has 2 sons. His father is no longer in his life. His mother is sick. And you're going to get that kind of at the beginning of the book, okay? So I hope you read it because I'm going to get into it. But you can still read this, okay? Is this a must read? No. But he is, despite having his family, he's trying to live his life right. He has his own mechanic business. His cousin helps him with the business. It's a small business, okay? So he doesn't have a lot of employees, okay? It's him and his cousin pulling on through. And his cousin is like a ride or die cousin. He'd be ready to get down, but Bug be trying to keep him to the side, right? So there's a lot of things going on with the children. You know, with kids, they get sick or they need glasses, they need to pay for college. You know, he has a kid with another person who is a little bit older. It's a daughter, his only daughter, and the mother is on drugs and struggling, and she's not really helping the child, not a good mother. He's not really what we would call an active father, but he loves his daughter. He wants to make sure he can at least pay for college or pay for her well-being, provide for her, even though he doesn't have full custody, which he was fighting for. And we don't give men credit for that, right? We assume that every mother wants to be the mother. We assume that every mother is a good mother in this world, in the United States at least, and that's how the courts treat it. And so they leave some kids who shouldn't be with the dang mother. Okay? We don't give enough credit for the men who actually fight for, or the young men who actually fight to be a father in their life, but the courts either say no, they should be with the mother, with not looking into more detail and so forth. So that's a whole nother tangent. But he was trying to fight, and he didn't win that fight, right? And so Beauregard, he decides he falls into financial difficulties. You know, he doesn't want to lose his new trailer home that he has. He doesn't want to lose his shop. He needs to keep his mother in a home, who his mother's kind of mean, and because the father, it's a whole lot of things, okay? And so this leads him to, I'm going to do one more job. I'm going to get myself into a little trouble, but I'm going to get out of it because I know how to work it. And then it falls into chaos from there. This book, let me tell you the things that worked that I did like. Although it was a lot of narration, a lot of description, kind of over description in some areas, but that's what S.A. Cosby does well. He's going to describe the scene so well, give you adjectives and metaphors and similes and all that good stuff, so you feel like you're there in the scene. And every time I felt like I was there, I was an onlooker. I wasn't in the scene myself. You know how some books you feel like you're the character? Is this me? Especially in romance books. Oh, is this me? Are you taking me on a date, right? In this one, I feel like I'm an onlooker, okay? I'm a passerby, I'm a witness. Yana, I'm a witness in this book. And even though it's written in third person, what it did well, it made me feel like I was following Beauregard. I was in Beauregard eyes. He had some special lens where the people say you're watching a movie, you're following the movie like this, as if you're taping the movie. That's what it felt like. So it's written in third person, but it felt like Beauregard was actually telling the story. We're getting everything from his perspective. We're getting all the other characters from his interpretation of them, his thoughts and motivations of what he think of them and why they do things, their motives. And so that worked well for me. I did love that. What I didn't like that it didn't have as much dialogue as Razorblade Tears. Okay, Razorblade Tears had a lot of banter. It was fun. It was comical. It was real. It was relatable. And as far as from the Black experience, and then, it was very relatable. This one didn't have as much dialogue, but when it did have the dialogue, the banter was funny, of course. You had Ronnie, which was Ronnie and Reggie were brothers. They were white brothers who also grew up in trailer parks. They were down on their luck. They were doing drugs, and they're just, Ronnie especially is just focused on, hey, I want to get money any way I can get it fast and quick, and let me spend it and use it and roll out type of thing. And so you get funny banter. You have a guy named Lazy who's like the head of, he's the OG runner of some crews. It's pretty funny. So when S.A. Cosby does dialogue, it is great, right? So the story, you get moments where it starts off very high, and then you kind of go into a low slump. Not very low, but kind of mid, and then it goes high, like, oh, a lot of action, then it goes low, and then in the end, you want to get a lot of action towards the end, right? So that's why I couldn't rate it. It's not a 4 for me, but other people love it, and that's fine, and that's great, because S.A. Cosby is a great writer. So it's still a good book, but it's not a must read. So I'm already about to be 8 minutes into this video. Let's go ahead and rank the S.A. Cosby works, and I'll let you go because it's a Friday, okay? And I want you to still hang with me, but also have time to have fun and hang with yourself or whoever, okay? So let me rate this. Obviously, number one S.A. Cosby book. I read this literally in January of 2025. This was my beginning of the year, one of my reads, and I loved it. My first S.A. Cosby read. And Razorblade Tears, 5-star. I mean, it is one of my top 10 reads of 2025. The only one in the running so far, neck and neck as far as fiction books goes with this, is 7 Days in June. That's the best romance. I mean, it was well written. The story, the well thought out characters, like, by far. And that was my first Tia Williams read, and I'm so glad I read it. is neck and neck. But this is the best. The banter, the story, the themes, the plot, the point of the story, the perspectives of the story is just so well. Memorable characters like Buddy Lee. We were talking about it on another live on TikTok. Talk about how the characters you never forget. This is a must read, and this will be a reread in some point in my life, in some point in the future. I will love to read this again. My next favorite S.A. Cosby book, which I would next rank, this I rated a 4.5. And it toggles between 4.5, 4.75. Some people have rated it 5 stars. It is very good as well, but this one, hands down, 5-star, no question. This was very good. And what I love about this, you're getting the black sheriff, you're getting tension, like racial tension, but you're also seeing how some works together and sometimes it doesn't. You see how the people in the town who voted the black sheriff in kind of either go against him or for him once he gets in office. It's like hypocritical. Once you voted me in, now let me do what I'm supposed to do. Let me do the work. You know, it's great. This was a great read as well, and this would be a reread someday. S.A. Cosby, My Darkest Prayer. Initially, I rated this. This is my third favorite. Initially, I rated this a 3.75. I bumped it up to a 3.95. But if you follow me on Fable, you'll still see 3.75 because they don't give a 9.5 option. But I actually like this. This is S.A. Cosby, one of his, I believe this is his first book he wrote. This was actually funny. It was relatable to me. If you grew up in a black church, you would find this funny, relatable, and it's like, yep. All of that. The banter was great. What I would say about this one, you can tell it's like one of his earlier works. He used a lot of so-and-so said, so-and-so said, so-and-so said constantly, instead of finding other ways to communicate to the reader that this person is saying this or who's talking. I don't need a bunch of saids like this person said, that person said. You can just flow right into it for me. Hey, Boogaloo. You fine. And then my next favorite by S.A. Cosby was the one I just finished reading. This is my 4th favorite of his, and I just let you know my thoughts about that. And that was a 3.75 for me. And this one was just a 3-star for me. I will reread this now that I read all the other ones, or now that I finished Blacktop Wasteland. I will at some point reread this and possibly give it a higher score. But at the time that I was reading this during the summer, I really wasn't that into it. You know, I was like, oh, okay, this again, we have family drama. We're talking about Dante. You have the mama is lost somewhere, and then the daddy got almost halfway gone out because he got ran over or something. It's like, you know, so I didn't really get into this one, but now that I read the rest of them, I think I will go back and reread this so I can kind of get a better feel of what's going on and the characters that get reprised in this. So those are my rankings for S.A. Cosby reads. I've seen multiple people already rank, and I don't think it should be best to worst. It's just best to okay. We don't put S.A. Cosby in a worst category. Do you hear me? Okay, beautiful people. We're not going to do that. We are not going to do that. But let me know, what was your favorite S.A. Cosby read? Do you like crime thrillers? I've also read a lot of psychological thrillers this year. I've read 5 books from Frida McFadden. My favorite was Never Lie so far because that was the first book I read by her, and that's my favorite. The Housemaid series, I feel like it was overhyped. It was, by the time I read it, I was like, this book, we like this? I don't know. It wasn't that great. The first one was pretty good. Then it just started to slump really badly, okay? Then I read Lauren Nauset. I read The Resemblance and The Professor by her, which The Professor is the better one. It is actually a series, but you can read them as standalones. The Professor is the better one out of that set. And I've just read Julie Clark, The Ghostwriter. And it was more suspense than thriller. But anyway, all right. I hope you enjoyed this video. I am on to my next book, which is a romance book, so stay tuned for my wrap-ups and everything for September. And yeah, and until next time, in between time, always remember to keep rising.